Well, today is day 23rd of the war and the bombing continues. In the latest, we're learning that the nuclear facilities have been targeted by both Iran and Israel. In Israel, we're learning more than 100 people have been wounded in an Iranian missile attack on the southern city of Dimona, that is home to Israel's main nuclear facility, and also nearby Arad, in one of the most dramatic escalations since the US-Israel war on Iran started. Now, this is in response to an attack on Iran's Natanz nuclear enrichment complex yesterday, marking a new tit-for-tat targeting in the conflict. Fortunately, we're learning that the International Atomic Energy Agency has said that it has not received any indication of damage to the nuclear research center at Dimona, and that no radiation level has been detected in the area. So that is the latest as far as the attack on the nuclear facilities in both Iran and Israel are concerned. For more on this, let me go across to consulting editor Srinjoy Chaudhary. Good morning, Srinjoy. Tit-for-tat attacks on nuclear facilities continue. Israel attacked Natanz nuclear facility yesterday, and now we're learning in the latest, Iran has hit back. For now, there has been no radiation leak, but it raises serious concerns.
Very worrying precedent. First, Natanz gets hit, and now Dimona. Now, as Natanz we have spoken about, it's happened earlier, but Dimona was hit very recently. And what is very worrying is that both sides are targeting each other's nuclear facilities. Now, the Negev Center is the premier Israeli nuclear facility, and it was targeted. Now, the missile, first of all, went through. It was not intercepted. And as you rightly said, about 100 people have been wounded. Now, Dimona's town is a little distance away from the Negev nuclear facility, a little distance away. And it's the town which has borne the brunt of the attack. As you rightly said, nearly 100 people have been injured, many seriously injured, and unfortunately, a lot of people have been hospitalized. But so far, it appears that the missile, which was aimed at Dimona, generally speaking, struck the town and not the nuclear facility. So this is something very, very important that is happening, and it's possibly extremely worrying. So far, luckily, both sides have faced attacks, but there's been no leak, there's been no excess radiation. If there were to be excess radiation, it would be almost catastrophic. So that's the whole point. So far, there hasn't been any, and the international authorities can monitor it very easily. Let's not forget that when Chernobyl happened, the first people who picked up radiation were people in Sweden, thousands of kilometers away. So in this case, so far, there's thankfully been no radiation.
Absolutely, and that is, in fact, a positive thing that no radiation leak has been detected so far, because this is very concerning. Both the countries, as far as Iran and Israel are concerned, they are now focusing on hitting the nuclear facilities. We also have a reaction coming in from Israeli Prime Minister after this, in fact, area was hit. In a social media post, he has said that this is a very difficult evening in the campaign for our future. Just a short while ago, I spoke to the mayor of Arad. Now, remember, this is one of the towns that has come under attack, and asked him to convey on the behalf of the Israeli citizen our prayer for the peace of the injured. As many as 100 people have received injury as far as attack on Israel by Iran is concerned. I've instructed the Director General of my office to provide all the necessary assistance together to the government ministries. I strengthened the emergency and the rescue forces operating in the field right now, and I call on everyone to heed to the instruction of the Home Front Command. We are determined to continue our strikes on the enemy on all fronts. But the very important point, he has also said that this is a very difficult evening in the campaign for our future. Let us also show you the visuals of the attack as far as Israel is concerned, because we are learning in the latest that in Israel, more than 100 people have been wounded in Iranian missile attack on the southern city of Dimona. That after Iran attacked Dimona, IDF is now at this very point in time is launching fresh attacks on Tehran. The waves of attack on Iran capital is currently underway, and IDF has said that it is focused on the regime infra that has now come under target. In fact, in a social media post, IDF has said that they've started the wave of strikes in Iran in retaliation to the attack on two of the towns. And in fact, more than 100 people have received injury. And in the latest, we're learning that now Israel is retaliating to those attacks. And there are attacks that are underway in the capital city of Tehran. And the regime infra is under target at this point in time. On that, let me once again bring in my colleague Srinjoy. Srinjoy, there is dramatic escalation because in the last few days, there were hints that there could be some sort of de-escalation as far as the war is concerned. But now in the latest, the nuclear facilities have come under attack. In fact, in the latest, we're also learning that Israel has started retaliating to those attacks in Israel.
Yes, and this is the worrying bit because, okay, there have been attacks on capital cities. Tel Aviv has been hit. Tehran has been hit many times. But once you begin to hit nuclear reactors or nuclear facilities, then there is this risk of radiation. And that can be very worrying. And Natanz was hit. This time, Dimona was targeted. So very clearly, both sides have decided that no, nuclear facilities are not sacred, and they can be hit, and they will be hit. So this has happened already. So we don't know how often the Iranians and the Israelis will try to hit nuclear facilities of their other countries, but this is already beginning. And it must be said that if there is radiation, then it's going to be catastrophic actually for both countries because they are not very far away from each other. So that has to be kept in mind. Now, because of wind patterns, radiation, if it is released, it travels everywhere. So this is something extremely worrying. It will concern the whole world actually. Any radiation leak will affect not just either Iran or Israel. It will affect the entire region.
Absolutely, because till now the civilian infra had come under attack, but now if the attacks continue on the nuclear facility as far as both the countries are concerned, there will be concern as far as the radiation leak is concerned. Fortunately, till now, there has been no leak is what the authorities have said so far. Thanks so much, Srinjoy, for getting us all those details. Now, as West Asia war enters day 23rd today, Iran has yesterday made a big claim. According to Iran, the United States and Israel carried out fresh strikes on their uranium enrichment facilities in Natanz. It added that there were no signs of radioactive leakage, and residents in the surrounding area were also not at risk. Now, reacting to this, IAEA in a social media post has said that they were informed by Iran that Natanz, a nuclear site, was attacked yesterday. No increase in off-site radiation level has been reported so far, and they are looking into the report. The agency also added that the Director General has also reiterated call for military restraint to avoid any risk of the nuclear accident as far as attack on the nuclear facilities is concerned. So that is the latest as far as attack on Natanz is also concerned. And in the latest, we're learning that Iran has also Israel has also hit back, attacking, in fact, one of the areas there as well. Russia has strongly condemned the US-Israeli strike on Iran's Natanz nuclear facility, calling the attack a brazen violation of the international law and also warning of serious consequences amid the escalating tensions in West Asia. In fact, they have put out an official statement that has been released by the Iranian by the Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson, and in which they have criticized the continued targeting of the interests whereas Iran is concerned. But this appears to be a tit-for-tat response by both the countries. First of all, Iran's nuclear facility was attacked, and now in retaliation, Iran has also hit two of the main towns near the nuclear facility. There is, in fact, growing concern over the radiation leakage. However, nothing of that sort has been reported so far. With this, a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.